Hi, and thank you for tuning in to the second episode of Inside the Mind. We're your hosts, Harper, Stull,
and Camden, Paeltz. This is the podcast to help you know the student athletes you all know and love on and off the field.
Today, we're with Jacob Hernandez, senior, who plays soccer and football.
And ultimate frisbee and rec basketball, and I coach a baseball team, and I run track.
So Jacob, you play a lot of sports here. What's your favorite sport to do?
Probably soccer.
Why would that be your favorite sport?
I played it for the longest, and just the bond I have with all my teammates, super strong. I love all the guys. We just have so much fun together. We're pretty good too. We won a couple GMC titles in a row. I think we're at 4 in a row now. We won the district title this year, so a nice little cool medal, and just,
So, you came on this year to play football, just mid-season, maybe becoming the varsity kicker, and a lot of people, it's hard to get playing time, but you came in and, just as a new player, and you just, kind of took over. So what was that like for you?
I'd say it's a little bit different than coming into, a skill position for football. It's a lot easier to come in and kick right away when you're coming from a soccer background. So I wouldn't put too much praise to it because, it's not as difficult. But I'd say you just got to work hard. Just listen to the coaches. Make sure you listen to the coaches. You don't want to get on their bad side. If you listen to what they want you to do, you'll have a pretty good time and you have a good shot at
I was going to say,
some playing time.
I thought soccer might help you a little bit just because I feel like you do a lot of kicking in soccer.
Absolutely. It's not the same the way you kick it, but your leg is still obviously strong, and lots of the people on the football team, they don't know how to kick a ball, so kicker isn't easy for the rest of the people on the field. I definitely couldn't play their positions, but I don't know if they could play mine either.
Okay, so, we saw that, in these playoff games, that kicking is a big part of what goes on, and it won a bunch of games. So when you're walking onto the field, what's going through your head when you really need to make a field goal so that you can win a game?
I would say not much went through my head. I'd say just taking your mind off of it, trusting your abilities, knowing the people around you, they're going to block for you, the snap and the hold is going to be good. Just trusting your technique and not really overthinking it, because when you get inside your head a little bit too much, you think too much, then you start to kick the ball all different directions, and it doesn't go down the middle like in the movies. It's got to go down the middle.
I feel like soccer is kind of a not super very hard with all the contact and stuff. Do you think it was definitely a challenge going from something with maybe not as much contact to going full on everyone just trying to tackle you?
I wouldn't say it was hard because at kicker, no one really touches you. You get a flag if you hit the kicker. I don't think I got hit all year, even in practice. The only time I was hit was after I would make a kick. Lane Davidson would come up to me and just hit me in the head with his helmet. So
That explains a lot.
it kind of hurt a little bit, but it was a good ritual after our kicks because, just maybe you want to make them even more, so everyone would be happy with me. I guess no one can be mad if you make them.
Well, you play 5 sports, but you're also a baseball coach. So how are you balancing playing all those sports, but also the responsibility of being a coach and being responsible for all these young players?
I'd say you just have to communicate with all your coaches. There's a lot of practices that overlap. Just trying to make the most you can for each sport, knowing who you committed to first, letting the coaches know where you're going to be, what you're going to do outside of those practices to make sure you're still working on each and every sport. And then when I played baseball as a kid, my coaches weren't the best, and they made me kind of lose love for the game. So when I quit before the first high school season started for me, freshman year, I thought to myself, I want to be a baseball coach for my younger cousins because they are pretty good at baseball. I think they have more potential than I do in that sport, but I didn't want to have them lose the love for the game that they already had. I didn't want them to not reach their potential due to bad coaching.
What are some ways you're being a good coach, I guess?
I just make sure I have a positive attitude, be the happiest guy in the dugout at all times, making sure all the players are happy, they're not getting down on themselves. When players come back in after like striking out, just giving them a little joke or a little pep talk, letting them know next at bat, don't bring that into the field. Just try and stay positive for the kids, because sometimes at that young age you can't always believe in yourself or have the confidence after a bad play.
If you were to have a highlight of the stupidest things you've ever done, like a highlight reel of everything you've done, like stupid, I guess.
I mean, you'd have a lot of those.
Yeah.
I would have a lot.
Stupid and impressive things. What would play first?
I think impressive would be in the playoff football game. I actually kicked my own leg, and the ball still went in. I don't know how. Like, I still made the extra point, but I kicked myself. And then one day at practice, I was just doing like a dry rep, they call it, where like you're not kicking a ball, and I actually fell over. So I like kicked the air and then fell on my butt. So that was kind of embarrassing. I just played it off as I was like stretching, but really I wasn't. I just kind of hurt myself. Soccer, what would play would be, like kicking the ball like onto like the goalpost or something and just like hitting you in the face. That kind of hurts. You're trying to like blast the ball as hard as you can into the net, and you just like hit the post and it comes back and hits you.
Has that ever happened to you in a game?
Not in a game, because I'm never like shooting, so it hasn't happened. But in practice, it's happened more times than I would like to admit. It's kind of sad and it hurts a lot.
So what's something that not a lot of people know that you can do?
Not a lot of people know that I can golf too. I work at a golf course that my uncle owns, so I golf a little bit. I mean, I'm not that good, but I'd say if I work on my short game, which is obviously the hardest part of golf, I wouldn't be that bad.
Have you ever thought about joining the golf team?
Absolutely not. They're exponentially better than me. There's no way I would make that team. Those guys are insane. They're so good. They've practiced for so long. I don't think I'd ever be close to them, but I think I could be a good golfer against some of the bums that come out and golf. I could be like a dad that golfs with his son and not be too bad.
Thank you so much for coming in with us today, Jacob.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll see you guys next time on our third episode of Inside the Mind.